I wish I had my Canon, because this is the first time I saw one of those guys not flying all crazy. I don't think there's going to be much of a sunset today. It's just gray all around. It's two more of those barn swallows just chilling. I've never seen them relaxed like that. This pool is probably going to be gone tomorrow. Leave that mallard be. The bugs are out in full force now. I don't know how long I'm gonna hang out in that. Tomorrow I have a long day. I'm gonna be leaving for a 3-hour drive at about 7 in the, well, probably 7:30 in the morning. So I have about 7 hours of drive tomorrow, I would guess. I'm not looking forward to that at all. What's your weekend looking like? And there's a Skag and Blonde have their live stream tonight. Is it Fridays? I forget. And with your browser issues, I don't know if you can even hear me. But I think I'm going to be wrapping it up here in 15 minutes or so. What is that? Oh, someone's got their drone out. I was like, that is a peculiar flying bird. Where is it? Tomorrow, I'm assuming you're talking about tomorrow, so, and if not, correct me, but I'm basically on the east side of Michigan, and there's a tulip festival in Holland, Michigan, which is on the west side of the state. And it just so happens Wally, Supreme Gecko, you know, from the streams, you've talked to him a couple times. He lives in Wisconsin and is just on the other side of Lake Michigan there. So I thought he said he either has family or just something they do occasionally. So he's going to that tulip festival, and I've never been there. So figured we'll make it happen. I got the drone up there. These bugs are just like following me. I think I may go talk to my neighbor. Talked to him a couple times about his drone. And when I'm there, I have no idea what I'm going to do. Literally, I have no idea what things there are or what there is to do. So, see how that goes. See anything? See anything fun?
See anything good lately?
I saw a mink.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Mink.
a mink.
What's a mink?
Like a weasel?
Yeah, tiny little.
I'm live streaming, so don't say anything incriminating. But yeah, I was out on one of my walks there. did a double take because I thought it was a squirrel. Like I actually got it on one of my live streams.
That's kinda
Yeah, so I got the bald eagle a few times flying through. Nothing that I would get with a drone, but
cool. Uh-huh.
the turtles are starting to come out. I saw a first couple. So
That's what I figured. I'd get out and start seeing what's along the bank. And
yep, deer. Those are the usual. The big thing is that mink. I want to say it was only like 3 days ago.
Leave it. Got one side.
Have any luck with that, or is this your first time bringing it out, really? Or
I've been out a couple times.
okay, anything
Yeah.
crazy? So
Nothing really.
I got to see. I want to say now, probably a month ago now, coyote chasing down geese across there.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Ooh,
again,
that's
just silly stuff that, man, I never would have thought I'd seen. And in that tree over right by, I call it by the bridge, but kind of right where there's
the pylon.
yeah,
Yep.
there's that dead tree there, and there's actually, I'll show you if you ever happen to be there, but there's a woodpecker. They have their nests in there,
Oh, really?
and it's nice because I can put my camera on that stone thing there and just kind of point it up there and just leave it, and they
Oh, that's
just
kinda cool.
get some nice shots of them. It was really nice because I actually caught them, I think, in the middle of building it. So
Okay.
they were just
Nice.
very active.
Nice. Is it all swampy back there still, or?
Not so much now.
Okay.
No, but now the mosquitoes, you can see, this is the first day I'm swatting
Are
them
they
away
starting
because
to? Okay.
I think that now the weather's starting to get consistently warm. They're not dying off as much. So
That makes sense. Yep.
Which I wish they were.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
take a
the
walk back
worst
there
part
to
about the
see
season.
Yeah, go by yourself.
I spray myself down like with mosquito spray. Like I'm toxic when I get the first thing I do when I walk in is just take like the longest bath and shower.
Makes sense. Get it all off.
Yep, but I don't. I'm very particular about that. I don't like mosquitoes. When I was married, my ex, in fact, got West Nile from a
Oh,
mosquito
okay,
bite.
yep.
So, I've lived throughout my life. I'm sure that I'm never gonna. That made me really aware of the fact
Uh-huh.
that that stuff can
Right.
happen. So,
See, I'm more worried about like ticks than mosquitoes.
see,
Really.
and I've never thought about that either. But in a few of my walks, I've just sat there and watched them.
Uh-huh.
Like the little, and the ones I've seen specifically were those bright red ones. I'm like, man,
Okay,
they
yep.
just walk around like you're saying. I never would have thought of that, but.
Uh-huh.
I've never had an issue with them for better or worse. I don't know if it's because out there I'm moving so frequently,
What's
or
weird, though,
what.
I mean, is that
But they got
ticks
heard they
haven't
fall
been a
from.
thing in the past like 5-6 years. Before
Mhm.
that, I was like, what, ticks?
So we'll see. Like I said, I'm lucky I haven't had any issues with them. So
Nice.
just seen them.
Uh-huh. Nice.
But yeah, the swamp is kind of drying up back there.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I was gonna do some exploring and see what's back in there.
Have fun.
I'm telling you, get out and get in it. Hey man, it's Sterling Heights. They may be chopping this stuff down in a
Exactly,
few
yep.
years, sadly.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I want to. My goal is to see a fox out here. I don't think I've seen. My sister lives on 16 and a half, and she's seen them there.
So I saw him about a month and a half ago.
Here?
Yeah,
No way.
gotten right along. Because I think so. There was nesting geese here.
Yes, I saw the two that were kind of right up here. Is that?
I think the fox got them
Ah,
because they disappeared, which doesn't happen for a nesting pair.
correct. Yep. And I saw the two hanging out right. I'm assuming the two that were hanging out over there for the last couple weeks going on now.
Uh-huh,
So yeah.
I was gonna actually, you were walking through there to see if there was any remnants or if they just got scared off.
I haven't. I've been meaning to put on my waders and literally go over there for the last
Okay.
couple days. It's all. I say it started with that day in the mink, and now I've just been trying to get back out there and see if I can catch him again. I
Uh-huh,
haven't been
right.
able to, but that was just wild. Like I say, I didn't know minks were in Michigan. If anything, I would have thought like maybe UP or maybe like the
Okay.
northern tip, but no,
Uh-huh.
I mean, right out here, man. And he walked. I mean, when he went by, he sniffed, but I mean, no further. He just went around me, but no further than from what you
Really?
are. Yep, just went right around me. He was looking, sniffing, bouncing, looking at me, walking, looking, sniffing. Like, that just went on his way.
Huh, kind of cool.
And then I don't know if he was actually going after a squirrel or just happened to be going into a tree and there was a
Okay.
squirrel there.
Uh-huh.
But I could see they were there was that interaction with them up in the tree. But then I think the squirrel was bigger than he thought because he ran down and all that. Like it was just a wild day, man.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So-
did get a cool video actually last fall of, I think it was a weasel or something, just swimming up the stream.
Probably the muskrat.
Muskrat,
And
yeah.
and so like
And I just kind of followed him along. He's just kind of doing his own little thing, and
they're very beaver-like. The big difference that you can tell is their tail. They got a very rat-like tail, whereas the
right.
beavers have what use
Bit
that,
wide.
that. Yeah, exactly. Yep. And other than that, it's kind of hard. Beavers are usually more stockier, whereas like the muskrats are more rodent-like. But it is hard to tell the difference in that
Uh-huh.
regard. But yeah, in fact, I've seen him so pretty frequently. Again, I just laugh in my live streams. I've been lucky because like as I was just
Okay.
getting log off, and he goes, and like I said, the water's really low right there, so I can usually just catch them.
Uh-huh.
Even if they see me, he'll kind of come check me out, watch me for a while, and then go along the far bank to stay away from me and
Makes
just
sense,
go on
right.
his way. Yeah.
Nice.
But I'm hoping they'll. I wanted those woodpeckers. I want to try to start feeding, and I mean, I'd like to start feeding. I don't know. We can feed a mink, but you know, like
Right. Hey, puppy. It was actually kind of funny. I looked out my window there earlier,
Mhm.
and a cardinal landed right there on the branch and just sitting there looking around.
I want to get. I've, for better or worse, I've been out with my phone more, but I want to now get my camera out because there's so much like taking pictures on this is different from an actual camera. I'm
Exactly,
sure.
yep.
Yeah, I think that thing is very high def too. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, you get that. Like, but
Yep.
this is nice to get it, but like it's different, and I'm very sensitive to that camera, like getting wet and cold and all that.
Makes sense, yeah.
And this, I got the case, and I think I baby the camera. I just don't want to break it, or get it wet or anything
That's
like
how
that.
with this now. It scares me. Like, okay.
I see, and that's one thing I think I told you before. I'd be so paranoid about
Yep.
all of that. Like, I don't know.
Yep.
I can just in my because I say I'm that person who like rolls a natural snake eyes or one, and I can just picture my watching the thing just no
Right,
like
yep.
did I go too far? Did I not charge it? What did I
Watch the
do?
$100 bills go flying away.
Yep, it's wild, but yeah, I'm curious. Like, have you brought the drone out like to go above the? I don't know how high it goes or how difficult it would be, but like checking out nests and stuff over there, or
I haven't seen a nest. I've taken it, literally flown it the creek all the way to 16 Mile.
now can you do that from here?
Yeah.
Wow, that's fascinating. Because that's my first
That's
question.
Actually, so right now I'm not logged in for some reason, so I got to grab my other phone to log in. But
Mhm.
I'm limited right now to 100 feet on 100 feet, which is weird. So,
Well, now what is that? Is that based on the net, like the wireless network, or
so this has its own wireless network actually
okay?
that transmits.
Now you're interested in people. I think it was she had to pee. You want to say hi to Nala?
My maximum height by my license is 400 feet.
Okay.
But I mean,
Don't
And
you
now
wanna
how
say
did-
hi to Nala?
what's that?
Don't you want to say hi to Nala? It's a cute dog.
You guys just stand over there
The
camera?
oh yeah the chair. Yeah, I always say feel free to use it. I'm gonna put a sign out there, but yeah. For me, it's like I hate lugging it out every time. Like always have one thing too many, and I'm like I got to take another trip. I leave that in my chair out there at this point. Like,
wondering how long it's been out there.
probably half a year now.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, I try to leave it out there as often as I can.
It's adorable dog.
Everything. I mean, we were just talking. Like the other day, I was out on one of my walks in the forest. I saw a mink. I see beavers out here, the bald eagles, deer. I mean, coyotes. Yeah. So I mean, stuff I never would have thought. We were just laughing. Walk right out here and you see it. Yep. Fascinating. Now that the season's up, snakes and lots of turtles. You're gonna see the big blue heron will be up here. I saw in fact, a green heron, which I've seen him. I want to say, or a green heron probably since I've been here like 3 times. They look like dodo birds. They're like all butt and beak. It's really weird. But yeah, and I want to, like we were just saying, I want to get my camera out here and actually film some of that and all that.
Right.
Like, this is nice. Like I'm live streaming, so don't say anything incriminating. But no, I just don't. I don't say anything like you don't want the world to know right now. Is all I care about. But yeah, all kinds of stuff. And like I never would have thought I would have saw mink. I was laughing. I got a book for my daughters, like the Birds of Michigan, and I'm looking through it, and there were kingfishers in there.
Oh, I've seen what's that.
And I never saw. I'm 40 years old. There's no kingfishers out here. And the next day, I walk out in the tree there, and there's a kingfisher. Like it's just one of those things. Like it's like I would have thought like fate's messing with me. But right out there, and that now I know that. Like I said, I know his call. It's fascinating. The things that snapping turtles I see out here that are. Again, in Michigan, I never thought were this big.
Right.
Just right out here, Yeah, it's crazy the stuff I get to see out here. And I always laugh because I don't expect most of that. I come out like the first time I saw the beavers out here, and then which they're not. I think they moved after they tore out their dam. I was taking the garbage out and just see a beaver. Like
Right.
if I wouldn't have saw it that moment, I probably would have never known they were there.
Never
What
guessed
the
it.
hell is
Yeah.
That out here that's tearing up like.
I've not what I not.
Skunks.
Well, there's not marmots. It's funny because in one of those days where it was, how this water comes up,
Uh-huh.
I saw one on a tree. They're these little. I forget. I'm thinking. Goodness gracious, they're rodent though. Because the guy who walks his husky, his dog caught a few of them. But I'm thinking marmots, but they're not. It's some weird like burrowing rodent. They're not in fact, it's voles. I'm almost positive they're voles. Yep.
I know over here it's the skunks that'll be digging up grubs and stuff.
Yep.
Oh,
But no,
these are like
the
these
tunnels
have
are the voles. Yep.
underneath.
Oh, okay.
I walk with my stick sometimes and I'll be walking, it'll fall in. Like I'm like, what the heck?
Exactly,
And
it's
yep,
so
and then
soft up
you
there.
see the but yeah, a couple times like when it's rained, I've seen them like not this tree, but like on this dead tree, sometimes if the water comes up too high, it traps them and they just try to get up on like
Oh,
the thing here. Yep.
Oh yeah.
I've seen massive bullfrogs out there. I mean, I'd say it's fascinating.
I haven't seen none of that shit besides.
Well, I say the season's coming up. Like there's that pool over there that kind of forms. Like the
Exactly,
toads will
on
be
the
there,
other
but
side of the hill.
as soon as it's gone, it's gone. And like I say, but the season's coming up.
All right, well, you fellas have a good night. Come
You
on,
too. Take care.
Stick along. You fellas take care. Nice to meet you.
Yep.
Nice to meet you.
I sure will see you all around.
She's like, no.
He ain't going anywhere.
She don't want to move. She's like, I'm not leaving. Yep.
You're so cute.
Not yet. Smile, you're on
Thank you.
camera.
Come on.
Say hi.
She doesn't know about that. She's so confused.
I'm cute and I'm fluffy. I'm just gonna stay.
And that grass probably feels really nice right now. I'll bet. Nice and cool on that belly.
Can we go? Oh, what was that? Oh, that's another thing. She's terrified of. You got anything in your hand, she gets terrified. She
Yeah.
like that, runs away.
Huh. Aw.
At work, I'll have like a belt for a car in my hand. She'll run from it. Anything.
Is she a rescue or?
No,
Oh,
I
okay.
had her since she was 8 weeks old.
Really?
That's
Wow.
what- yeah, exactly.
Wow,
that's what I
frightening.
would think. Maybe she was abused or something,
Mhm.
but no, she just always scared. A box in your hand, she'll run from it.
I
can't-
promise that won't hurt.
I can't take out the garbage walking her or anything. She'll run. It's so weird. Wow. So fascinated right now.
You're gonna make a bunch of friends this when it gets warmer. Pool's open. In fact, is the pool open yet? I don't even know.
No. The Labor Day.
Is it Labor Day? I laugh because I want to say I lived here about 3 years now, and I don't
No.
care about dates or anything like that. So it's like,
Exactly.
yeah.
Just when there's people there.
Yep.
it's open. Yeah,
For me, it's
Labor
usually I don't
Day,
generally care till my daughters want to go.
Right, and Memorial closing. Yeah.
I was hoping to catch a sunset today, but clouds are like,
Yeah,
nope.
yeah. So it's a little blackbird straight ahead there with the orange on it.
That's a red-winged black. I don't know which one, but that's a red-winged blackbird.
Straight out on the grass.
I like. Oh, so resting up on there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was, and I was talking about it in the stream the other day. The fact that you'll see them up at perched there all the time.
Okay.
There's these. In fact, he's still there. That bird that blew on the dead tree on the branch hanging to the left.
Yeah.
That's that barn swallow. Those ones I love because I say like when I'm walking, they'll fly. I could almost snatch them.
Really?
They're brave
Okay,
and
shot
bold.
back
They're
16
just like
foot. Nice.
doing whatever they want.
Huh.
But what I really like is you'll see them flying around along the water and they're snatching up bugs. But you'll also, if you pay attention, sometimes you'll see them. They drink.
Okay.
And you'll see them disturb the water as they're I say driving, but flying by, and just that they drink when they're flying. It's again just cool stuff to see like that. I'm learning bird calls and all that stuff now, like the flight patterns I can see. Like it's just weird.
Come on. No, not yet.
She's not ready.
Oh, well, she hasn't met him yet.
She ain't said I am.
Hey. Yeah. How old is she now?
Just over a year.
Oh, she's got a lot of time. Yep.
Oh yeah, she's hot.
Yeah, exactly. No,
She likes feet.
I'm obsessed with them. She's a weirdo. Man, I just actually stop it. Why are you?
Because she has that in
Oh
her.
yeah.
It's all that in the
Yo.
morning.
I just gave my nephew a drone I bought a while ago. I used it like 2 times.
Okay.
I thought I could like fly down everything, but I don't know if it's all of them or the one I had. Like once you get so low to the ground, all the Wi-Fi intercepts with it. And you
Really?
can't- Yeah. I couldn't fly low to the ground or anything. Otherwise, it'd start messing with the camera and stuff.
Weird.
Yeah, lose signal.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, I thought they were gonna be cool. All I could do was like way up in the sky. So I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah, like the Pro Magic 2 or something like that.
Okay.
I don't know if you know anything about
Yeah,
it.
this is the DJI Mini.
Yeah, it was. I don't know what. I don't know, so I gave it to my nephew.
Weird, yep. Okay.
Hey, you guys have a good
Have a
night.
good one. Yep.
Well,
Take it easy.
well, let's
Come
see. Take care, guys.
Yep. Have a good one.
Come on, girl.
There we go. That's easy there.
Some bonding time with the neighbors. You wanted to go. What's going on, Rhode Island? Oops, almost kind of dropped my camera. I'm not going to be hanging out much longer. I was telling Ninja Kitty I got a long day ahead of me tomorrow, but I needed to get out for a bit because I had been inside most of all day. It is rain. What in the world? Yeah, go over there. I don't want to mess with those mallards. I was very early today for my stream. Man, it's raining on me. That kind of stinks, Rhode Island. Not that it matters, you know what kind it was. I'm just kind of always naturally curious. But yeah, that stinks. Are they sexually dimorphic? I'm assuming that's how you know it was a male. I never kind of thought about that. That bird just gave us a flyby. Okay, that makes sense. All right. You can go set this down, hang out for a bit. I'm going to say 5 or 10 minutes, roughly. How's everything been in Rhode Island besides that incident? Well enough, I hope. I'm getting kind of cranky because mosquitoes are out now. Philosium. I don't know if it's Philologia or Philoskia. I've never heard anyone actually say it. I say Philologia muscorum, but I actually just started my own colony of them a few months ago. So do you just cultivate them in your yard then, or which is fascinating to me? I like I say, it's only been probably about a month. So every time I open it, I see a couple scurry away, which is good. I haven't seen any mankai or anything, and I've more or less kind of left them alone. I try to do that for the first, several months. Just poke my head in there, water them and feed them. I don't flip too much. But I'm eager because I've heard a couple times people have have a lot of issues getting that species to stay alive, breed, and all of that. So I'm interested in why. And I think from what I've seen, I think they need, I can't say a high moisture gradient, but access to a lot of direct moisture. And I say that because every time I see them out on my walks, I don't see them in drier, elevated places where there's more runoff. I tend to see them at the bottom of those places where the water tends to collect and pool in on very saturated pieces of wood. Or at least where the underside of the wood is very saturated. Again, it's very tricky because I see between again, the three that I see mainly here are Porcellio spinicornis, which tend to be in the higher areas that are dry and have less moisture. And then the Philologia muscorum tend to be what I would consider in the middle of that, where they tend to like it more moist than the spinicornis, but also have access to the dry surface. And then the Trichelopus rathke, I tend to see only on the underside of wood that's completely saturated and wet. So there seems to be that kind of gradient between the three. Again, I've seen them all and this is where it gets kind of tricky, because I've seen them all in all different air. Like I've seen rathke where predominantly spinicornis are, but I'm talking about the predominant times that I see them, the times I see them in abundance, the times I see mankai and higher numbers of them. It tends to be that way, where the Philologia muscorum tend to be in the middle in terms of that dryness level, but I would argue they tend to be more towards the moist side of things than to the dry side of the spinicornis. In fact, I just want to see. It may not be perfect, but so in this area here, oops, I would find spinicornis up towards the top of this hill, kind of here, under wood where it's drier, because the rain water hits and runs right down. So again, it will get wet, but it will dry. It has less runoff and all that. So then more in the middle area here, where in fact maybe towards this tree, where moisture may gather around stuff that falls at the base of the tree, I would find Philologia muscorum, and I don't think I would find Trichelopus rathke here, aside from maybe over here behind this stone thing, because I assume it will have a bottom out there and have a resting area where if there's wood and things that will gather there and stay moist over a longer period of time, that's where I would expect to find Trichelopus rathke there. And that, again, that's just a generalization. But I do see strong tendencies to that. I say I would, if I come out here on a normal day, not a day where it just rained, not a day where it's overly hot and droughty, but on just what would be a normal spring, summer or fall day, I could almost point at a piece of wood in that regard and say what will be under there in abundance, if that makes sense. So. And I haven't not, I have not yet got to grab any Oniscus ocellus. That's going to be, those and the Phyllogium oscorums are the ones I'm going to go really hard at this year. I'm going to try to focus a lot less on spinnicornis. I may get a few here and there to just increase, biodiversity or population, whatever you want to say. And same thing with Rathke, if I grab a few here or there. But for all intents and purposes, I don't plan on grabbing anything but ocelluses, and then if I can find a high density of Muscorum. But there's also that little isopod, oh gosh, it's in a stream of mine where I had Simon that I can't identify for the life of me. Yeah, and I chanced upon a bunch of them last year, but again, I was new into the hobby. I didn't have stuff established and set up, so I passed on them and focused on spinnicornis that year and a couple of the Rathke. I want to come out here. I don't know if you'll be able to see this, Rhode Island, but... And I don't know if it's moss, algae, or plants, but right along the actual bar, can you see how that green, beautiful looking... Again, I don't know if it's moss, algae, plants, but I want to come and grab a bunch of that. And I'm curious what it is and what I should do with it, because I'm initially thinking it won't survive in an ecosphere. And I could be totally wrong. The reason I'm thinking that is it seems to be obviously in fast moving water, which I don't know if that's a necessity or not. So I don't know. I'm just fascinated how vividly green it can be like that. I meant more of like I don't know, if like a grass or reed would be the, I don't think it is either of those, but I don't know. I've just never messed with it. And it is, I don't know, it doesn't, it's so vivid at times in certain areas. It is stunningly so. What do you got going on tomorrow, Rhode Island? Do you eat them, or are you collecting them? Or is it catch and release, just for fun? Oh, okay, nice. Sorry about that. What do you do exactly when you're in terms of documenting them? Is it size, coloration? I don't know. I'm just curious. Oh, okay, fair enough. One of my videos I have on here, there was that white egret that I can't to this day tell what it was. I don't know why I think it was a rock bass, but in fact, let me show you real quick. It was this very spot. So I had my GoPro in the water and I was filming here with my Canon. So I set the video up to have the both of them. You should check it out. It was really neat. I just think you would like it. Look up white egret or something on my channel videos. But I'm sitting here filming it and my GoPro was in the water right about here in the water. And he was eating right about here. But my point is, or let me say, my GoPro was right about here. And he was eating here on the embankment up below my finger. But he had this panfish, I just called it because I couldn't find out which it was, but because I didn't want to get close and disturb him. But it was so big he couldn't eat it. He was sitting struggling for like, in fact, he was struggling until my phone, my camera batteries died. I couldn't get him to do that. It was really neat. But yeah, it's tomorrow. I was telling Ninja. In fact, I want to film this because they've been out here. This is awesome. I want to get my Canon back out here and film these guys. Yeah, if you're bored tomorrow, I'm taking my kiddos up to basically it's a 3-hour drive to the other side of the state. I'm on the east side, and on the west side there's a city called Holland, and they have the Tulip Festival. So I'm bringing 2 of my daughters, and I actually have to call my middle one when I'm done with this because she was messaging me. She's that one who doesn't like to, basically if we're all going someplace and my other 2 daughters are going, she doesn't like to go. She likes to kind of have her own space and time to herself. But now she's messaging me saying she may want to go. So, so there's a 3-hour drive there. There's a 3-hour drive back. I'm leaving here about 7:30, so I should get there 10 or 11-ish. And that'll give me 4 hours-ish to hang out, maybe 5, then another 3-hour drive back. But the good news about that is, the interesting thing is, hopefully, if it works out, because he has a lot going on, but I may get to meet Wally up there if he's there. Because he's going to be there, but he has kind of stuff going on, so it may not be in the cards that we get to meet while we're there. But we will see. But either way, I've never been there, so I'm interested in that. And what's funny is, before getting into all of this, if you would have asked me 2 years ago to go to a tulip festival, I kind of would have laughed and scoffed. Why would I go to a tulip festival? I'm not looking forward to the driving at all, but we'll see how that goes. But it is nice also because, so I invited my oldest daughter's friend to go with us, but her dad wanted to go instead. So we're taking two separate vehicles, unfortunately, because there's too many of us. But so it's going to be, like I mentioned, me, my two kiddos, and maybe my third if she's changing her mind, and then and then her dad, and then two of his kids. So it'll be nice. I used to like road trips. I don't know why I don't anymore. Let's see if I can show you this. No, where? That's the woodpecker. Go in your hole. Don't you want to go back to your home? It's very... Oh, here we go. Well, maybe not. Oh, come on, do it. She's watching me. It's ironic that when I used to have a house, and I kind of lost it in the... I didn't foreclose on it. I narrowly avoided it. But my point is, when I had a home, I didn't have access to all this, and I'm better off in so many ways having lost that and being now here and having access to this. It's a very odd or almost perverse positive way that I try to look at it. Well, I mean, I guess it's just reality too. Do you have access to any, like, locally where you can get out, like, you know, a walk or a drive away and, like, get out to woods, or are you more suburban or urban where you don't really have access to that? I'm gonna cough. I'm gonna try to turn away, but I'm sorry. Yeah, all in all, I would argue I'm one of the luckiest guys in the world. The only thing I need more of in this world is money, and that's just to give me more access to doing more things, like seeing people, you know, all that. Like, It's just, I guess, the means. I always say it's just a resource. I don't like to use the term money, like money rules the world, money is bad, because it's all just it's a resource. If I did have the money, one thing I would do tomorrow is like either do a taxi or Uber, because I'm not looking forward to the 3 hour drive. For me, and for me specific, a lot of it, now that we're kind of actually talking about it, is my lower back doesn't do good. I have to do a lot of stretching and moving. So sunset kind of looks like it's trying to happen, but nope, not gonna happen. I'm not sure who still is there, but I'm gonna now for real say we're gonna do 5 more minutes or so. I'm gonna go in, eat, and start putting together some last minute stuff for tomorrow that I don't want to have to do in the morning. I'll put some stuff away, get some stuff prepped and ready. When you're fishing, and I meant to ask because it just left my mind, and I'm glad I kind of remembered. Excuse me, though. Are you doing just from off the land, or do you go out on a boat? Generally, I assume bluegill fishing is usually off of a shore or a dock or pier, but not always. In fact, when I get in, I'll probably set up that live stream for tomorrow for that Tulip Festival. It's just difficult because I don't know, again, what's going to happen, if we're going to meet. I don't know what time I'll actually get there because I've never been there. And Michigan is notorious for traffic, or I'm sorry, for construction season. So I'm hoping it's just a smooth trip. I don't want it to be a 4-hour trip. Netting them? Yeah, that'd be fun. A lot nicer for them, too. Yeah, they never dealt with Michigan traffic, though. Michigan roads are notoriously bad for two reasons. It's just the natural byproduct of us getting all 4 seasons in their glory. But additionally, we have so much money tied up in unions and making sure that fixing the roads every year is literally a job market, that it incentivizes them to build crappy garbage roads so that in 3 or 4 years we just have to repair them again like our contracts to the union say we should do. So instead of building a good road, they build a road they can just rebuild every 2 years. I would argue yes, but I don't know. if you're bored, look up Pure Michigan potholes. In fact, all of the Pure Michigan spoofs are hilarious. But there's specifically one about that. So I don't know. We call it pothole season because I'm sure you get it being in Rhode Island, but when they clear the snow and all that, they end up clearing out potholes and digging out well, maybe they don't. I don't know if you guys have, again, like lazy road builders like we do. I don't know that. But I'm sure you experience it to some degree with the roads being kind of garbagey in the winter, so I'm sure you get that, yeah. But for ours, a big chunk of it is just man-made because we're, like I say, that we'd rather have job security than good roads. Make sure you haven't done this stream. Do they normally have one? They do a Friday. Is it a Friday stream? I'm the worst with any kind of consistency like that. Whose reaction do you think was more overblown and overly dramatic, Ninja? The double rainbow guy or me when I saw the bald eagle in that live stream? What do you think? I'm hoping it's the double rainbow guy. I don't think if I ever actually watched an episode of Gilligan's Island or not. I don't know. No, no. I guess he was camera shy. I don't consent. Man, it's ending up to be a pretty nice night compared to how gray and ugly it was. And it's still raining, which is just kind of ridiculous. Well, drizzling anyway. And speaking of that, I'm going to kind of start heading in. Start saying my goodbyes. Drop my stick. So make sure you speak now or forever hold your peace. Yeah, I think I put white heron instead of, I'm glad you mentioned that because I want to change it because it's an egret. So yeah, I think that's it. Thank you. In fact, if you could, if you don't leave a comment, could you please leave one so it flags me so at least I can remember to go and change that because that's something that bothers me. I don't like overlooking stuff like that. And hopefully, like I say, if you're not busy tomorrow, Ninja, like I say, I'll be streaming from the Tulip Festival. I just have no idea what because I've never been there. I don't know if I'm going to start right when I get there or wait till I formulate a plan or something. I have no idea. So I hope it's not too awful in terms of the way I stream. So. I have no idea what, I mean, I literally, like, I'm making it a point not to ask anybody, and I'm making it a point not to look at anything to expect. I want to just basically go in completely blind in that regard. So I am excited about that. Again, I don't know if it's going to be tulips everywhere. I don't know if it's more of like a festival with rye. I have no idea, and I don't want to know until I get there. Excuse me, I'm sorry about that. I normally don't cough right into the camera. You guys are lucky. It looks so much more vibrant and colorful on my camera than I feel it does for me. All right. Take care of yourselves. Take care of the ones you love. I will catch you. The next time I catch you, go easy.